Exxon reveals initial estimate for the gas-to-shore project. Rowley, Motley, and others to visit Guyana next month. $45 million in Ganja burned on Berbice River. And government rehires questionable consultant for environmental impact assessment. Hi, I'm Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. According to Exxon, the gas-to-energy project will cost way more than the initial US $900 million price tag. The oil company has already estimated that the installation of the offshore and onshore pipelines alone is set to cost US $1.3 billion. This was noted in the environmental impact assessment. However, they have yet to make a final investment decision on the project and is continuing to evaluate cost considerations during the project development process. It warned, quote, a higher certainty cost estimate will be developed after receiving and negotiating all major contracts, end quote. Additionally, the assessment said that Exxon is awaiting environmental authorization from the EPA before the project could move further. One should note that several months ago, the government said the project cost would not exceed $1 billion. But at $1.3 billion, this is already $400 million over the original budget of $900 million. Prime Minister Keith Rowley is scheduled to visit Guyana in May for the upcoming Regional Agriculture Forum, scheduled for May 19th to the 21st. This will be his first visit since the PPP came into office. John Antonio Bersenio of Belize, Barbados' Mia Motley, and St. Vincent's Ralph Gonzalez will also be in attendance. The event follows CARICOM's decision to strengthen the region's food security by reducing CARICOM's food import bill by 25% by 2025. Yesterday, the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union signed an agreement with the Clerical, Commercial, and General Workers Union for salaries and other conditions of employment for the credit union staff. The agreement paved the way for a 5%, 10%, and 15% increase in salaries for workers for the year 2022 and a 15% across-the-board increase for next year. Other allowances and benefits to staff members have also been increased. The agreement is retroactive to January of this year and will run until February 2024. The new collective labor agreement will also see, for the very first time, the introduction of paternity leave at the organization, making it the first organization locally to introduce the concept. Under the agreement, expectant fathers are entitled to the 1 month leave once per year with full salary and other benefits. Aubrey Norton has responded to the president's announcement for a future meeting between the two. Norton said that while he is open to discussing the reconstitution of several commissions and the appointment of a substantive police commissioner, the meeting should go beyond that and discuss other critical issues that remain unresolved. Norton said, quote, the meetings must also discuss the opposition's concerns about good governance and the abuse of political power by the People's Progressive Party, including discrimination against opposition, local government areas, the uneven and non-distribution of food and other relief, the unsatisfactory oversight of the national patrimony in the Natural Resources Fund, end quote. The president has not dispatched a formal invitation yet, but such invitation could be extended within the next 2 weeks. Now it's time to tell you about Specify's car of the day. Currently on sale, this is 2014 RDQ3. It comes with Bluetooth, mug rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, electronic parking brake, back cameras, and much, much more. Buy cash for $5.6 million. Or pay down as low as $1,120,000 down, with around $108,000 monthly for 5 years, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Or visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Pinero Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell Anuka sent you for this sweet tea. Raul DaCosta was sentenced to 18 months in prison after he pleaded guilty to brutally beating his 23-year-old wife. The incident occurred at Charity Essequibo Coast on April 11th. The entire incident was captured on CCTV cameras. Family members told the media that the beating left the young mother hospitalized for 2 days, and she had to get stitches for her head injuries, while DaCosta was arrested and later released on $50,000 station bail. In the video, he's seen choking, kicking, and even stomping his wife on her head, and even stripping her half naked in the process. Though the assault occurred at a relative's home, no one intervened. Sickening, to say the least. After being behind bars for almost 6 years for the murder of her reputed husband, Alexis Turpin was freed on Wednesday when the court upheld a no-case submission made by her attorney. Turpin was on trial for the 2016 murder of Sherwin Johnson in Lodge, Georgetown. However, the judge agreed with the defense that the prosecution failed to lead sufficient evidence to prove its case against Turpin. According to the state, on the day in question, Johnson returned to their home and found Turpin in bed with her lover, Stefan Barlow. Turpin and Barlow allegedly attacked Johnson, stabbing him several times. Last year, Barlow confessed to the lesser count of manslaughter and was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. 19-year-old murder suspect Joshua Williams was arrested on Wednesday at his father's house in Kururu. The teen's father was also taken into custody for harboring a fugitive. The police had reportedly received a tip-off about his location. Williams was wanted for the murder of 41-year-old minor Joseph Davis. Davis was stabbed on March 19th and was taken to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries on March 27th. The police never managed to get his statement. Yesterday, the cops destroyed about $45 million worth of marijuana at separate locations along the Berbice River. A statement from the police revealed that there were two farms. The first had an estimated value of approximately $7.5 million in cannabis, and a 6-acre ganja farm at Catroy Village, which had an estimated $37.5 million in cannabis. The total weight of all between the two came to about 1,500 pounds and was valued at $45 million, the police stated. This is actually the second time this year police have made such a large find in Catroy Village. In February of this year, the police found and destroyed a farm with approximately $90 million worth of cannabis. Those poor plants. You can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Guyana is currently experiencing the impacts of Saharan Dust. Plumes of dust are blown from the African desert and travel westward across the Atlantic Ocean to us over here. Chief Hydromet Officer Dr. Garvin Cummings revealed that this happens with fair regularity, with the last time being several months ago. Dr. Cummings explained that Guyana has been experiencing this weather condition for the past 10 years. While its effects only last a few days and are ultimately minimal, the dust can affect people with sensitive respiratory systems. Now for today's oil update. Shares in the Chinese oil giant Sinopec Limited surged as much as 44% in their Shanghai debut on Thursday as investors seek new investments amid high energy prices and rising inflation. After opening 20% higher, Sinopec shares immediately shot up to 44% on the Shanghai Stock Exchange, hitting a price ceiling for the day and triggering a 30-minute trading halt. The stock ended the session up 27.7%. China's largest offshore oil producer raised $4.41 billion in the nation's 11th biggest public stock offering ever. It said it would use the proceeds to fund 1 gas and 7 oil field projects in China and overseas and increase its cash reserves. Now, if you were wondering what that has to do with us in Guyana, well, Sinopec has a 25% stake in the Starbuck block, meaning that one of those projects that are being funded through that Chinese money could very well be on the Starbuck block. Now for our stupid news of the day. You know what I think is stupid? When the government completely ignores the concerns of the people. There were concerns raised regarding the credibility of Environmental Resources Management, ERM, the lone consultant that has been conducting environmental impact assessments for Exxon as well as the EPA over here, for many reasons. One of them being the obvious conflict of interest taking place here. But despite these and other concerns, the EPA has once again approved the firm to conduct such a study, but this time for the gas to energy project. Now, what sense does that make for us as taxpayers? It's obvious that something nefarious must be afoot, because there's literally no way for this firm to commit a properly done assessment, as they have a strong financial incentive to see that the matter is approved without any issues and that both sides are happy, especially when it comes to the finances. Unfortunately, this will be to the public's detriment, as we will be bearing the brunt of the burden for any unintended, overlooked environmental consequences of the project. Anyway, I'm not going to abuse on any longer about it tonight. Just know that as of yesterday, you have 60 days to tell the EPA what you think they're thereupon. Do you own a truck? No, not the disease. I mean a real truck, like DAF, International, Freightliner, Bedford TM, or Scammell. Then come, get high-quality truck parts at the lowest prices at Powered Automotive. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles. Or call them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. Yesterday I asked about the Natural Resources Fund and how do you feel about the new board that's been appointed. Glennis Sargent says it right. They say it's a shame that you cannot truly say that you can have trust in the people to handle that kind of finances and not be scared. all because of dishonesty and greed. I mean, exactly. My point exactly. The realist one is a little more blunt. They said, another EPA, another Animal Rights Society, another GCCI, you get my drift? I see a lot of P in this lineup for the Resource Fund. How long will cat watch milk? Exactly. I believe there are several conflicts of interest here that the media is just not recognizing. And, well, I'll try to take some time to look into that this weekend. Rashana Fitzgerald actually brought up a point that I really wanted to recognize. She says everything raising in this country except child support. For 4 generations, this has been $1,500 per child a month. I think the government should look into that. I agree. Child support being that low, honestly, it sounds criminal to say the least. Now, before we get to tonight's question, take a look at this beauty being constructed in a gated community called Richmondville in Guyana. It features 4 bedrooms, 1 pool with 7,000 square feet of living space, along with modern amenities. Contact Sheriff Construction on 592-618-5702. Now for tonight's question. Let's talk about the gas-to-energy project. How do you feel about it now that the price has increased over 40%? Is it still worth it, or do you have concerns? And if you do, why? I want you to think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.